objection?
I still stand, my lord, and can I just make it clear that the still photo album was actually produced from the video footage itself.
Good.
So I did certain snapshots from the video footage. So it is it's the best evidence, and it is the perfect evidence to set the scene of what happened.
This is case number, sorry, Ms. van der Heever, this is a matter simply between counsel for accused number 2 and the state.
My lord, with the greatest of respect.
I'm not going to hear you. Thank you.
So your lordship would not permit me to address you on the
No.
issue at hand, even though my client is charged on the basis of common
It is not
courtesy.
affecting you currently. Thank you.
If you are not watching the Vusimuzikat Matlala court case that is now on day 3, let me tell you, you are missing out. But the good news is I am here for you to break it down and summarize what happened in court. Let's just say Vusimuzikat Matlala's legal representative, she found out that she is just the lawyer in the courtroom because the judge put her in her own place. So this video is going to cover a lot of what happened early in the day, starting with the judge letting everybody out know, including you. The judge started off with an announcement to the members of the public jury to let us know that just because it looks like court started late, it doesn't mean court started late. And they have a lot of stuff that they do in the background before you see it streaming live on your device, your TV, and. So basically, the judge made it clear that they were not late. They were in chambers before dealing with other issues. Well, noted with thanks, I guess. But then immediately court went underway and they continued with the cross-examination of the witness, Mr. Cele. And let me tell you, Mr. Cele, he's a very, very animated witness. He was being cross-examined by the defense, and today it started with the defense of accused number 2. I'm going to do a video later of everything to do with Joe Sibanyoni, Vusimuzikat Matlala. We've already, run down the basics with him, but we're going to talk about what we've discovered about him in this case and, of course, the other accused. So, Mr. Cele is the security guard who pushed the Nkabis back into their white BMW as he fired 5 rounds. And the Nkabi had to jump back into the car through the window. It is such an animated description that he gives. But then he seems to be butting heads with the defense advocate when it comes to questions that relate to maths and science. You're probably asking yourself, what am I talking about? Well, the best way to find out is let's go ahead and watch court in session. I will be back with the rest of my commentary, but spoiler alert, Mr. Cele is absolutely hilarious. He is hilarious. Repeat after me. Make sure you let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe because we're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. And we can obviously only get there with you in mind. I appreciate you. Let's listen to this.
Yes, this is SS 98/2025. The matter continues today with the cross-examination of Mr. Cele by Mr. Rovia for accused number 2. Before we commence with the proceedings, I believe it important that I just place on record the reason or reasons as to why the matter did not start at 10 o'clock, and this is specifically directed to members of the public who do not understand the inner workings of what happens during the course of a trial. And I've been alerted to the fact that there has been some criticism leveled regarding the fact that this court time for starting is not as punctual as that of the Matlala Commission. It's simply to assist those members of the public relating to these issues. One needs to be very guarded. So, under those circumstances, this court is of the view one needs to be very guarded about making comments in the public domain without being properly appraised of all the true facts before one goes out and makes comment on the public social media. The reason simply for members of the public who are not before the court is that normally if the court does not commence at exactly 10:00 hours, it would normally mean in the ordinary course of business that this court is seized with matters relating to this particular trial. And to that extent, before the matter commenced this morning, this court was seized with having to deal with a few issues with counsel and members of the media before we commenced this morning. So, under those circumstances, this court is of the view that it is only appropriate that it informs Joe Public
Oh my God.
as to why it did not start exactly at 10 o'clock and to prevent the unnecessary causing of sensationalism in the public domain. Thank you, Ms. Leroux. You confirm that this court was seized in seeing counsel in chambers as well as members of the media relating to matters concerning this case.
Indeed so, my lord.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
If any of the counsel feel that my tone of voice is so loud that I'm shouting, then please inform me. What do they say in isiZulu? Faga ama watts. Okay, Ms. Van der Heever, I'll increase the wattage.
Thank you, my lord.
Thank you so much. Mr. Cele?
And there you heard it from the judge himself, okay? Joe Public, aka Joe. Usually people say John Doe. Yeah, they usually say John Doe, but hey. So the judge has made an exception and he is going to address the public as Joe Public. So Joe Public, stop typing in the comment section. They're late. Where are they? Why are they late? I know that is a norm at the Senzo Meyiwa trial, but clearly over here at the Vusimuzi, Cat Matlala and the other Mgulugutus, even though Cat Matlala is accused number 3, the trial is more known through his name than if we call it the Kekana trial because he's accused number 1 or 2, whichever one. Yeah, so I just wanted to put that little disclaimer there. So when I do my videos, I'm going to call this the Vusimuzi Cat Matlala trial because that's the name that, everybody resonates more with. So with that said, court is in session, ladies and gentlemen. The judge has set his ground rules. Do you accept to stop saying the court is late? Let me know in the comment section down below, but I already know. My Senzo Meyiwa family will have a lot of comments when it comes to timekeeping over there at Judge Ratta's courtroom because it is a skill that hasn't yet been acquired, not just by the judge, I would say by correctional services most importantly, because why is it that in other courtrooms they can bring the accused on time? Even Vusimuzi Cat Matlala arrived at the Madlanga Commission on time. So why is it that at the Judge Ratta courtroom, the Senzo Meyiwa trial, correctional services comes with the accused whenever they feel like it? We will arrive when we arrive. To me, it is a sign of disrespect of the court. It is a sign of, hey, what's the judge going to do to us anyway? Because we've seen what action really does Judge Ratta actually take. But I don't want to make this about the Senzo Meyiwa trial. Let's continue listening on. Let's get into it. Mr. Cele is about to get started. And spoiler alert, it's about to get animated.
Do you confirm that you are still under your former oath to speak the truth?
Yes, my lord, the witness confirmed that he is still under oath to tell the truth.
Good, thank you so much. You may take a seat. Thank you, Mr. Crowfield. You may continue with your cross-examination.
As it pleases the court, my lord. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
I want to ask a few questions just to clarify certain aspects of your evidence of yesterday before I proceed with my main examination.
Yes, you can go on.
I note that you mentioned yesterday that when you saw the white BMW, it was in slow motion.
uthi ke manje ke izolo ukhulume ngathi lobufakazi ukuthi ngesikhathi ubona ke le BMW elimhlophe belihamba kancane.
Kunjalo.
Yes, it's correct.
And you also mentioned immediately thereafter that the left side window of the BMW was lowered down.
Uthi ke manje vakoko ifestere la le BMW elimhlophe ke manje liyelehla kancane.
My
Kunjalo.
question
Yes,
to you in
that's
that regard is, at what stage did you notice that the left-hand side window of the BMW motor vehicle was lowered down?
Manje uthi bekunini ngesikhathi lesike manje ubona le festere la se left le BMW lehla kancane.
After ungene iGolf emhlophe neFerrari ired.
After the white Golf and the red Ferrari parked at the parking lot.
My question to you relates not to the Ferrari and the Golf, but to the BMW. You saw the BMW driving towards the Centurion Golf estate, is that correct?
Uthi ke manje ubone iBMW ke manje lisiza lapha na ku ema estate.
You've told us that at one stage there was a U-turn made.
Uthi ke manje khona liye la jika khona la shaya u-turn.
Kunjalo.
Yes, that's correct.
Now my question to you is, where was the BMW at the time that you realized that the left window was turned down?
Uthi ngesikhathi ke manje le BMW belihamba kuphi ngesikhathi ke manje ubona ifestere la khona lisehla kancane.
Elise robotini.
It was there by the robot.
Now, perhaps just to assist people that's not that familiar with the scene, the robot is that where you turn towards the Golf estate, the Centurion Golf estate.
Uthi ke manje robot leli ujika kulo mawuya eGolf estate.
Yebo.
Yes, that's correct.
Now the road where the robot is, am I correct that, just so that everybody can understand, when you travel from Johannesburg towards the eastern side of Pretoria, where you go under the Gautrain Bridge, that's the area where the John Foster turnoff is.
Uthi ke manje for umuntu ongayazi masuka la eJohannesburg usiya manje ngase east kula khona ke manje udlula khona leli bridge la se Gautrain.
That's
Kulapho le
now from
robot
the
khona.
N1 highway.
Yebo.
Yes.
Now, that robot that you referred to is where the BMW motor vehicle turned in towards the estate.
Le robot ukhuluma ngalo kula manje le BMW lelasha khona i-U-turn lisiya kuma estate.
Irobot elibhekene ne-entrance yase estate engikhuluma ngayo.
The robot that I'm talking about is the robot that is before the estate.
Yeah, that's the John Foster Avenue robot.
Uthi ke manje i-John Foster Avenue robot.
Yebo.
Yes.
So as the vehicle turned off from John Foster Avenue towards the Centurion Golf estate, that is when you realized that the window was down.
Uthi ke manje le moto mayijika laphana ku robot lisiya ke manje ku John Foster estate kula khona ubone le festive la khona lisehla.
Lehla kancane ya.
Yes, lower down a bit.
You said yes, and then you added something, Mr. Interpreter?
Lower down the window.
The window was lowered down.
Lower down a bit. Yes.
Now, you've described the position where you were as the eastern side of the estate entrance.
Uthi ke manje la wawume khona bekuhlangothi la se eastern side la kula le estate.
Yeah, kwa left.
Asempuma. Yes, at the left hand side.
And you've also referred to it as the left side pavement.
Uthi ke manje i left side pavement.
Yebo.
That's correct.
Now, just to get clarity on that, if you were to stand at the entrance of the Golf estate and you look in the direction of the robot, in other words, away from the estate, then that pavement where you were standing would then be on the left.
Uthi ke manje mawume laphana ke manje egate la se Golf estate. Ubheke ke manje ngase marobotini. The pavement should izoba ngase left.
Ilanga ngime khona.
Yes, that's where I was standing.
Now, I had the opportunity of going there last night and this morning to see what it looks like, as we did not have the evidence presented in the manner in which the state intended to do it. And I have noticed that on the eastern side, which is now the left-hand pavement, from the entrance to the estate towards the robot, there are a number of trees. Is that correct? There are a number of trees on the pavement on the eastern side.
Manje uthi ke manje umshushisi ke azange abanikeze ke manje ukuthi le ndawo ikanjani noma umap. So yena namhlanje uye wasuka waya lapha. Excel. Masuka la na6. Uthi mayifika lapha ke manje. Uthola ukuthi manje le side, the eastern side, the side la ngasimpuma, ku left hand side kukhona la kugcwele khona ihlahla.
Okay, ubona ihlahla kuphela.
You only saw the trees.
Oh my God.
I'm putting it to you that there are trees on both the eastern and the western side.
Uthi ke manje kukhona ihlahla ngasempuma na ngasentshona. Landa.
Ngisabuza same question. Ubona ihlahla kuphela na?
I'm still repeating my question. You only saw the trees.
No, sir, I'm not putting it to you that I only saw the trees. I am putting it to you that I noticed that there are tall trees.
Uthi nje uyakutshela manje kukho imithi ke manje imithi ekhulele phezulu.
Kunjalo.
Yes, that's true.
Now, the tree that you mentioned yesterday that Mr. Mazibuko was hiding behind, is that one of those trees on the eastern side of the area in front of the estate?
Uthi ke manje la uba uMazibuko manje lo muthi le wayaqashe khona kule mithi. Ile mithi ke manje le ngasempuma lapha kuma estate.
Lela ngaku left.
Ngase left.
One of them, yeah.
One of them.
Yes. Now, are you able to estimate how far from the entrance of a security you were in relation to where the robot was, where you were during the shooting incident? Would you say it's halfway towards the robot from the entrance to the estate, or is it closer to the estate or closer to the robot?
Le ndawo wawumekuya. Mawuqikelela wena. Ungathi ke manje lama robot asekudeni nale ndawo wamekuyo noma ungathi ke manje akufani nalapha kuma estate. I distance wena mawi.
Hayi bengaphathanga phela i-measuring tape. Yokuqala.
I did not have a measuring tape with me. You can measure.
I'm asking you for an estimation whether you were closer to the robot or closer to the entrance of the estate.
Uyabuza ukuthi la wawumekhona wawuseduze nama robot noma wawuseduze nama estate.
Inkinga I'm not good even na kwi-maths yazi.
My problem, I'm not good even in maths.
That's my problem.
It is my problem.
I'm merely trying to get the approximate area, and I'm going to deal with it with you with more detail. As I see that you have difficulty, I will then rather show you photographs that can assist you. But before I get to that,
Uthi ke manje ufuna uzama kumanje athole kahle kahle wena wawume kuphi nendawo.
Ngabe
Kepha ke manje uthi ke manje hlezi angakusiza ngoba ke manje akhona unazo ke manje ithombe ezizothi hlezi zisizane nawe.
hayi next time acela ama numbers wami azokwazi ukala soyi2. Angikungibize next time.
Next time you must request my number so that we can go myself and Miss to go and do the measurements.
My Lord, I have to object. The witness has already indicated that he has difficulty in estimating distance, which I can align myself with. I'm also not good with it. And that he's not good with math. So I really think that this line of question does not go anywhere. Maybe my learned friend can just put a statement to the witness and show him the photograph that he's got, which is now interesting for me that I was not allowed to show the scene to this witness, but now the defense is taking that line with this witness.
Yeah, I think Mr. Crovier is going to proceed with the photographs. So I'll allow you to then proceed.
I'm not there yet though. There's a few questions that I'm putting to the witness just to get clarity before I show him the pictures.
No problem.
Perhaps I
So that is how cross-examination for accused number 2 began with Mr. Cele. Mr. Cele, if you don't remember, is the security guard who was guarding that day together with a co-worker. They had to hide behind the tree. And then while they were hiding behind the tree, the other security guard said, "We can't be dying when we have a firearm on hand, when you have a firearm in hand. So that's when he had to start shooting at the Nkabis, right? Now, here we hear him. You can tell that the lawyer is going somewhere, but he needs to first of all place or disprove or discredit Mr. Cele. So he asks questions. He's now talking about the trees. He's now talking, later you'll hear him, he'll talk about parking lots and how far the car was from the robots. And Mr. Cele says, no, 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 no. I don't know anything about math. Okay, I'm not the best at math. Don't ask me estimations. It's not for me. Okay, that's not a strength for me. And then it just becomes a lot of back and forth with this regard. And you'll see in the next clip that it becomes really a bone of contention. So he does offer and says, next time when you go do this inspection in loco, call me. I'll give you my number. Call me. We'll go together and I'll answer all your questions there. Obviously, Mr. Cele is not well versed in legal proceedings because that's not how a local inspection is done. It's not just you and the defense. It's literally the accused, the court officials. It's a whole process, okay? Because it all has to be documented and put on the record. I still don't even understand why Mr. Lawyer Man went to take these photos and now is leading them as evidence without introducing the evidence properly and proving the source of the photos. And worse, he took the photos now, which is 4 years after the incident. Clearly, the trees have either grown, the golf estate changes their aesthetics year after year. I don't know. There could have been so many changes that have happened. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue listening on.
Uthi ke manje ke mawusebenza ke manje uhamba ama-pace umesha ngamanyawo futhi ke manje mawuqikelela ke manje ubutheqelele kangakanani
we hayibo engathi sophindelela into eyi-1 ngithe kwi-maths nakwi-science angikho uyabona nje mase ngitshela ama-paces and what leyo mina uyangishaya straight.
I'm not good in maths.
Even the
now,
science.
Now you are engaging me on paces.
Yeah, maths and science. Now,
even science.
Uyangibulala mo. Ngathi ngihlula i-maths ngizowenzani ngisayise ngitshela ngama-paces and what.
Really you that is tiring me now because now you are asking me about maths and I'm also not good even in science. Now you are engaging me again in science.
Well, sir, with the greatest of respect.
You are employed as a security officer. You were standing on the scene. He simply is asking you, if you don't have a tape measure and you can't estimate with precision, all he's saying is that if you had to walk, how many paces would it be between point A and B? Am I right, Mr. Khofia? That's where you want to go. Just to estimate, just to guess. He used the word guesstimate.
Uthi ke manje bakufuna nje ugesi. Ufuna uyazi manje usuka lawa umekhona. Mawusosebenza ke manje ama-pace. Ungahamba ama-pace amangaki? Ukuya laphana. Ngase robotini.
Unless mhlambe kusasa sibuye sizophinda lo mbuzo lo ngambe ngeke ngiyokhawunta ukusuka lapha engangikhona ukubheka nase robotini ukuthi izitephu zami zingaki.
My lord, maybe if I can be given an opportunity or a chance for me to go there after the adjournment, to go there and count for myself the paces. Maybe I will come back and able to tell the court the paces from where I was standing to the robots.
Yes, sir. It's going to become very difficult if you're not going to do your best to answer my questions, because I'm not going to go away. I'm going to continue asking those questions until you answer them.
Uthi ke manje ndoda kuzoba nzima ngoba manje angeke akuyekele neze ungaphendulanga imibuzo zakho. Uza kuhlala uze ugobe iphondo.
So I'll put it to you in a different way. Is it more than 10 paces that you would walk from the entrance to this place where you were at the time of the shooting?
Uthi ke manje angakuzama ingaba 10 paces usuka lawa umekhona kuya kundawo yesigameko.
Mfowethu lo mbuzo samile answer khona imile ngiyacela ngokukhulu ukuzithoba nokuzehlisa phambi kwale nkantolo nezifungo zami ngizenzile endabeni yama-pace nakuma measure no what hey mina ungangifaki lapho mfowethu unless sihambe soyi2 mina nawe siyokhawunta ama-paces okusuka le ukuye robotini nokusuka la kangikhona ukuya egadroom angeke ngikwazi uzikhawuntela ngiyi-1.
My lord, with great respect, I'm repeating myself. I'm saying that I'm not good in maths. Unless I can be given an opportunity to go, I personally to go there and count for myself. For now, my lord, with great respect, I'm unable to answer it.
Can I perhaps ask you, Are you able to maybe, from where you are seated, if you look in the courtroom, are you able to maybe just estimate from where you were standing to that point, if you are able to, in any way, just point out in the courtroom?
Mawusebenzisa le courtroom usuka la uhleli khona ungakhomba usuka la hlezi wawume la ngasuka la manje
la I'm sorry ukuselemo ngoba ngisho ukukhomba umuntu kuyicala lo hleli lapha ekoneni mhlawumbe kancane kuyo.
My Lord, I would say from where I'm sitting up to the woman who's sitting at the gallery there at the corner. I'm sorry to use her as an example because I know that it might be a mistake. Use a person as an example. From here I'm standing up to there to that woman a bit after her.
Are you referring to the lady sitting right in the corner?
Usho lo seli lapha ekhoneni lapha
Yeah bengaba mhlawumbe le distance.
And you say a little bit further than that.
little bit further kancane kuya.
Maybe ukudlula mhlawumbe kancane.
Yes, little bit further.
So approximately the length of his court from that wall to the back wall, or more or less?
Bosuka ke manje ukuthi ke manje angathi ke manje suka lapha.
My lord, so that would indicate, because there's a wall there in that corner. So he says a little bit further. So it cannot just be the length of the court.
What would we estimate the distance
With
to be?
respect, my lord, I'm now taking him to the back.
Yeah. What would you
Wall.
estimate the distance to be?
It is approximately.
Mr. Roy, are you comfortable with that?
I am.
So let's say 5 meters.
Thank
you.
When I saw him raise his hand, I knew that he's done. He's about to walk out. He is done with this question. Can we move on, please, my lord? Of course, he was not acknowledged that his hand was up. Keep in mind that he's a witness. He doesn't have an advocate who is there to advocate for him, but it would have been the state that would have had to call out that he was raising his hand, but they did not. The back and forth continued with the advocate for accused number 2, who said, let me tell you something, you can try to run away from this question, but I will keep asking it until you answer me, because he wanted an estimation. And Mr. Cele said, I don't do estimations. I'm not good in math. Don't ask me that question. So in the end, the judge had to come in and ask him to use the length of the courtroom in terms of gauging the distance, which he did, which he complied with, which helped move the conversation just an inch forward, just a whole little bit forward. So let's continue and hear where we go next.
If you have visuals, then it's easier for you. So I want to show you this photo first of all.
I must say, we haven't been shown these pictures. It's now coming as a surprise to the state.
Mr. Rovier, I'm hearing something
We
about
have
the
been doing
authenticity
discovery
of photographs.
for over weeks now.
Yes.
And being chastised if we don't discover everything.
Yes.
But, I mean, it's a two-way street.
Mr. Rovier, I'm hearing something about the authenticity of the photographs. Who took them? When were they taken? Who's the author?
My
Are you
lord,
calling the author?
with the greatest of respect, these are still photos, and I'm going to use this witness to identify the photos.
Mr.
Oh,
Leroux?
my lord, it is unacceptable. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. So we were stopped from presenting visuals of clear video footage of the incident, and now the defence wants to follow the same line. It is just not fair to the state.
Well, with respect, I'm helping the state. They were unable to show the video. So unfortunately, the evidence that's before your lordship hasn't been properly placed in context in relation to the scene. So I'm merely making it easier. These photographs were taken by myself at 6 o'clock this morning on the way to court.
Fine,
you see what-
no witness in this case.
Mr. Rovier, what I think the cause of complaint on the side of the state was that yesterday she actually wanted to set the scene and provide perspective to the court relating to the scene of crime. And when that effort was made, it was vigorously shot down by the defense on each and every technical point and aspect available to them regarding the authenticity of it. Now today, the defense is producing a photograph, and Ms. Leroux, in my view, is quite correct to raise an objection relating to this particular document, because we don't know who the author is, we don't have the evidence of that individual, we don't know what it's meant to depict. And if the court allows that to happen, then I suggest what we should perhaps maybe do is just allow the state to lead the video evidence, which will cut out at least 2 hours of unnecessary cross-examination time.
My lord, with respect, if the court and my learned friend can give me a few minutes, for this witness to identify what I'm showing to him, if he has a difficulty in what he sees, if he's not able to describe properly what he is seeing. We have done this for many, many years. Show photographs to the witness and ask them, are you able to identify what you see on the photograph? So the witness himself is identifying the evidence. It is not complicated evidence such as surveillance footage that's footage of the entire scene and we don't know how it was done. These are simply just a photograph of what it looks like.
Ms.
If my learned friend's got a problem, we can go on inspection in loco.
Ms. Leroux?
With the greatest of respect, this is the easiest and simplest way, and it's actually assisting the state. With respect, it's sour grapes because she was unable to get the video evidence in. Now I want to object to photographs. I'm asking the court to give me an opportunity to prove these photographs through this witness.
If I just understand the principle behind this, the defense is wanting to lead the evidence of photographs of the scene that were taken by the legal representative accused number 2.
Yes.
Those photographs have not been previously discovered to the state.
Quite correct.
Yesterday, the challenge we had, if I understand it correctly, is the state wanted to lead the footage of the area in order to give a perspective of the scene of crime and as to what had transpired. That's how I understood the evidence of the state to be.
They wanted to do a lot more. They
Wait,
wanted
and then
footage of the actual incident.
Yeah, the challenge was that the authenticity of that particular material was placed in dispute. Now, similarly, what I hear the state to be, and I could stand to be corrected, the state also is today challenging the authenticity of the photograph that is being put to the witness. Am I correct, Ms. Leroux?
But my learned friend goes further. He places on record that I took the photograph. I'm asking the question, is he now a witness in his own case?
No, not
Mr.
my
Clovier,
lord.
you stand by your application?
My lord, I most definitely stand by my application, and there is nothing complicated. These are simple, still photographs of how it looks in front. And the witness can then describe to us, in relation to the photograph, this is how the vehicle traveled, this is where the U-turn was made, this is where I was, this is where the BMW was. We've done it since forever. There is nothing complicated. This is not technical evidence of video footage of CCTV of an actual incident. It's a still photo of the estate, just what it looks like at the outside. If I can't use the photographs, then I will ask if we go there and we all go and look at it. Then we can see the trees, and we can see where the witness was, and we can see where the car was traveling.
Ms. Leroux?
My lord, in fact, can I just put the following also on record? We are now standing, going on to 4 years after the incident. That is when these photographs were taken. What I can state is that with the video footage, I requested a still photo album also to be produced of those video footages. We can use that, because that is evidence that I was in any event going to introduce, so that we can use. But not those photos that were taken last night.
A photo is a photo. If my learned friend wants to use a different photo, surely this witness can say, this is not what it looked like. I cannot recognize what I see here. And then that's it. If I can't prove the photographs through the witness, then so be it. But surely I should be given an opportunity of showing him what the estate looks like so that his evidence can be sensibly placed before your lordship.
Can I just ask you? The state indicates that the photographs album that is in possession of the state was taken, I think, soon after the incident. So it would be approximately 4 years ago. The photographs that you have today are obviously post 4 years from the incident. Would you be perhaps amenable to use the photograph album?
With respect, no, my lord.
Would you?
This is a valid objection, in my opinion, by the state to say, you cannot be out there going to take photos and then introducing them into the evidence when the state actually has photos from the crime scene, which show exactly what it looked like then, which is what should be put on the record. But the defense is not having it. They don't want anything to do with the photos from the video that they refused to be played the day before. So now what's going to happen? Is they have to have a conversation as attorneys alone, attorneys, advocates, legal representation, and decide what their way forward is, because they're just not meeting each other with this one. And the judge is even trying to say, just use the photos from the video and save ourselves 2 hours. But no, the defense is absolutely adamant, not going to do it. Let's listen to this next part.
Objection?
I still stand, my lord, and can I just make it clear that the still photo album was actually produced from the video footage itself. So I did certain snapshots from the video footage. So it's the best evidence, and it is the perfect evidence to set the scene of what happened.
This is case number, sorry, Ms. van der Heever, this is a matter simply between counsel for accused number 2 and the state.
My lord, with the greatest of respect.
I'm not going to hear you. Thank you.
So your lordship would not permit me to address you on the
No.
issue at hand, even though my client is charged on the basis of common
It is not affecting you currently.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is case number SS.
Oh my goodness, this video is already so long. So let me go ahead and start at part 2 so you hear how the judge responds to Vusimuzi Matlala's lawyer. And he puts it on the record in case anyone tries some funny moves about appeals and the rights of my client and don't. He does a fantastic job putting it on the record. So make sure you catch part 2. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.